welcome back to the Annadelna podcast.
Episode 32.
Today we've got Xelthias. Is that how I pronounce that?
Yes.
Wonderful. Then we'll start with the first question of who are you?
That's an interesting question. I am a mantled beast. I refer to myself as the fuzzy creature shopkeeper for the Dainsleif Retrotech shop and arcade. That is my lore background. I'm an alien from outer space come to trade retro goods on Earth. So, yeah.
Nice. What sort of goods do you have?
Typically, vintage electronics, old video games, some new video games, and of course, the arcade.
Nice. I do love me a good arcade. What's up, creature?
What do you think of the thumbnail for the video? What do you think of that one?
Oh, yeah.
It kind of reminded me of Fry's Electronics. If anyone knows that now defunct store, every single one had a different theme, one of which was themed after the Aztec Empire.
That sounds familiar. Yeah, I've seen this place before. I think I've only been to one once.
What do you think of Fry's?
They got the UFO crashing into the building.
Do you think they were worth the hype?
Oh yeah, I've been to a couple of different ones in my time. Sometimes stuff was a little overpriced, but overall they were a good store. I'm sad to see that they've since gone and are no longer in operation.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Bubba's Bented?
What are your preferred pronouns?
Generally speaking, anything masculine leaning, so like he, him, to they, them, anywhere in between. I'm not particular about that.
And what is your favorite color and text font?
Ooh, this is a good question because my favorite font is a 100% open source font that replicates the Minecraft text.
Oh. Do you know the name of it?
I can pull it up real quick. It's
I see Minecraftia.
there's Craft.
This question was added on a whim a while ago, and I love it because every answer we've gotten has been something we've had to look up on like the second page of Google.
It is straight up just called Minecraft font.
We love
Minecraft font.
There is a really cool website that I found that will show you if it's free for commercial use or not.
Is it
So kind of just
fontmeme.com?
Would be Font Space.
Font Space. Oh, Font Space.
Yes.
I do use that from time to time. Let's see.
All right. Well, Oh, and what's your favorite color?
That would be the kind of like neon orange yellow colors, or amber, kind of like you would see on an older CRT command line kind of thing.
Fair, fair.
So like the orange that you have emanating from you right now?
Kind of, sort of, yes.
Okay.
And have you seen the podcast before?
I caught a bit of Captain Lockhart's interview, but that's about the extent of my knowledge.
All right. And have you been interviewed before?
In this format, no.
Is there another format you've been interviewed in?
For jobs.
That's
about
fair. You know what? I do have to think about that. What age rating do you shoot for with your streams? So, like, generally, what is your preferred age that you would like your audience to be?
at least 18 years of age. Not because we go over any particular like topics or anything, but just the nature of the jokes in the company that I keep. So,
That's fair. That's fair. And where do you stream?
typically to Twitch. I am working on setting up streaming on YouTube as well, but that's a future project.
That's fair. That's fair.
I
And
think I found your Twitch channel before. Let me see if I can pull that up. Xelthias, fuzzy creature on the internet.
Yep, that's the one.
I managed to dodge that.
and
Hey.
what? Yeah.
Sorry, I was yelling at it.
Okay. And where or what have you been up to this week?
This week, we've done a bit of Minecraft collaboration with a few other creators that I am fortunate enough to call my friends. And we've also been working our way through the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters.
Oh, where are you up to?
We just barely finished Final Fantasy 2.
I gotta play through two. I beat one a while ago, and I decided to give my goal of beating all of them. And I'm at two, and I haven't gotten past the first cinematic, but I'm gonna do it eventually.
The only version of 2 that I played was the one on the Game Boy Advance remaster, and it did not feel good.
The PC and console releases for the modern remasters and the CryEngine are phenomenal. I quite liked
Alright.
Final Fantasy 2. There are only like 2 complaints that I have with it.
Oh, I love complaining.
I cannot. I installed the text font, but it does not want to work. But I have
Ah.
one that is similar called 8-Bit Arcade.
That works.
So we can just vibe with that for a bit.
What is your favorite breakfast food?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say that my favorite breakfast food most likely is a good breakfast burrito.
Mmm.
What's
What
going in the burrito?
Yeah.
We've got spicy sausage, scrambled
mhm.
eggs, crispy
Mm,
hash browns,
of course, of course.
avocado salsa, and sharp shredded cheddar.
All right.
Sounds yummy.
That's a breakfast worth burritoing.
That's the breakfast of champions. Oh yeah, I should put the message in the chat. When did you start streaming and why?
Ooh, good question. So I started streaming last year on the 4th of July. I was
Oh.
planning on starting a little bit later in the month, but Zenless Zone Zero was launching that day, and as a big Hoyoverse fan, I felt like that would be a good way to get into streaming. Um, I had started streaming because I had been working a dead-end job, and I couldn't do that anymore after 3 years and wanted to work on something that I was actually passionate about, which is, video games. And since then, the reasoning has become a little bit different because I've learned that it's very fun to have a community that you can just kind of hang out and chat with while you play games.
Mm-hmm.
So what got you to hit that start streaming button for the first time was a love for Hoyoverse, a love for games, and to kind of want to get away from the things you were doing before. And the thing that's keeping you going now is the community and the fun that you've been having. You want to keep having it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Fair enough. Do you consider July 4th to be your streaming anniversary?
Generally speaking, yes. Although with Twitch, you get 2 anniversaries, so
Oh,
because you get your affiliate anniversary as well.
Oh, interesting.
that's fair. That's fair. Why the name Xelthias?
To be honest, it's kind of an unoriginal thing. I had cycled through several usernames as I had gotten into online gaming with some of my friends from middle school and high school. And I had just been rocking the name Xelthias after going through a few different permutations of uh, edgy Xbox gamer tags, and it just kind of stuck. And this is what I've been known as for a real long time. So
We
why
do
change
love
now?
we do love a good edgy Xbox name. I don't think I ever had one because I never really played Xbox, but
You know me. I love my Times New Roman and Oakwood and the most boring thing possible. But I do think the best nicknames are always going to be the ones that you just came up with on a whim and then suddenly, oh, this is just my thing forever now.
yeah. I mean, mine was just the name I got from the World of Warcraft name randomizer, and then I just added my name onto it. It's just how it goes. Do you have a catchphrase?
Uh, I haven't really thought about that, but I guess the closest thing would be the intro tag, which is the fuzzy creature shopkeeper thing. But
That's fair, that's fair. Now, here's a new question. We're working on it. The previous person we interviewed really wanted us to add it, so what impressions can you do?
oh, that's interesting. So the one that I'm kind of good at is a Stitch impression, but I can also kind of do a Squidward impression.
If we could get some of those, that'd be great. But also, I'd really love to know what are the ones that you can't do. like, like just give us one of those as well, if you would want to. Of course, there's no pressure.
I would love to be able to do a good impression of Kronk.
That's fair. We always want to be pulling the wrong levers.
Go for it.
Were there
No.
any what's up?
I was asking if they wanted to do the impression.
Oh,
I could do the Stitch impression. That's the one I'm the most confident with. One moment.
Creature, can you do any impressions?
well, as a slime, my whole thing is copying other people, so of course I can do every impression.
Okay. I think I can pull it off today. I hadn't warmed up my voice too much today, but we can do this. Right. Ohana means family.
Bars.
That's a banger. All right. Yeah.
I'm yawning. What do you want from me?
I'm sorry. You made the deep breath in like you wanted to say something. Were there any inspirations for your content, like any YouTubers or streamers that you saw and were like, "Oh my god, this is the sickest thing ever," and then you tried to figure out how to do your own thing, you know?
Mostly my peers in the space, to be perfectly honest. There are a few content creators out there that inspired uh, going down the direction of VTubing specifically, but most of like what I do for stream for content for that kind of thing is just looking at what all of my friends are doing and seeing if that's something I'm interested in and asking them about it and putting my own spin on it.
I'm glad to hear that you have such a strong like support base that is built around and you're helping to build. A lot of people working together to do good things.
What is your favorite type of wood and or tree?
Ooh, that is a good question. I will have to think about that for a second here while I Google a name of a tree because I don't remember it off the top of my head.
That's fair. What's your favorite tree, love?
Cherry blossom.
Cherry blossom. Tony Chopper ass question. My favorite tree is oak. I think they're cool and strong and good.
Mm-hmm. Basic bitch.
True. Real.
And I have to say, my favorite is quaking aspen. They're a very interesting species of tree.
Quaking aspen.
Interesting.
Do they cause ecological damage?
They're very pretty.
Generally, to my knowledge, no. They are a very, very pretty tree during the autumn months. And fun thing, if I recall correctly, all of the trees in a quaking aspen forest are actually one tree.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I do like trees that do that.
We do like a good tree.
All right. Do you know My Little Pony?
Uh, uh Maybe just a little bit.
If you were a pony, what would your cutie mark be?
Uh, that is a question I didn't think I would have to think about.
You know, it's a pretty simple question. Just tell us what image perfectly encapsulates your soul and everything you care about. I think that's pretty simple.
I would probably do something along the lines of a skull and crossbones with a controller and two spanner wrenches.
Bars.
Plunder. That's fair. That's fair. All right. Have you played Umusume?
I have not.
Do you
Tragic.
know about it at all?
I am aware of it, yes.
Do you have a favorite Umusume?
Gold ship.
Fair, fair,
Very fair.
And do you have a favorite Pokemon?
That would be Blaziken.
Ooh.
Bars. Absolute bars. I love Blaziken. That hurt a little bit.
I can tell by how loud it was. Do you have any reasoning behind the Blaziken choice?
One of the first Pokemon games that I finished in its entirety was Pokemon Ruby, in which Torchic was my starter, and Blaziken carried me through the Final Four fight.
That, you know what? That's
As
a
she
fair
does.
reason.
She's built. Blaziken is just the best to ever do it.
All right. What is the short-term future, and what are some long-term goals you're looking at for your streaming content?
That's a good question. Short term, I want to be a little bit more varied in the games that I play, because right now I'm cycling through a rotation of games every week. But there are a lot of games that I'd like to play, and I'd like to be a little bit more spontaneous. It's just a concern that some people don't like that more spontaneity word spontaneous style of content creation.
You mean like you make a schedule for the week or however long you do it, and you're worried about the fact that you're not being quote unquote spontaneous enough?
Well, not necessarily. So we have like 3 or 4 games that we play each week, but I want to vary those games much more without alienating my current audience who's come to know that I play those specific 4 games.
What are those games?
The Final Fantasy Pixel Remasters, Minecraft, VR Chat, and Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, Final Fantasy 14 gamer.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a big struggle and push that comes with going from one community to trying to become variety. Like Anna was on the come up with like becoming a YouTuber. She got really big in Binding of Isaac, so she talked to a lot of Binding of Isaac people. She played a lot of Binding of Isaac. She did challenge runs every day and all that stuff. And when she started to go, I'd like to do things other than Binding of Isaac 24/7 every single day. She had those moments of like oh, the numbers are a little bit lower. People are coming in and begging, when is Binding of Isaac coming back? But as she went along and she got her stuff set up, people have started to really love the content.
Yeah.
Because, great content creators make great content no matter what game they're playing.
Mm-hmm.
So I fully believe that while there might be a little bit of growing pains or a little bit of grumbling from the people who quote unquote care more about the game than they do the streamer, I fully believe that things will always turn out well in the end.
Generally speaking, I would have to concur with that statement. More often than not, when I've made the push to try and play a new game, a good portion of my community seems to really like that I'm exploring different options as far as games to play are concerned.
Mm-hmm.
As always, the best content is going to come from the person who's making the content having a good time. And if you're not having a good time doing the thing you're doing and you'll have more fun doing something else, you're the one who knows yourself best. So you got to make that decision. And the best thing you can do for your viewers is to make good content. And sometimes that does mean ignoring what they're saying to give them better content because you know you'll enjoy it more. All right. Now, I have been told by my fellow co-host that this question runs for a long time, so I do need to shorten it. But it is the most important question, so I'm going to keep doing it the way I'm doing it and figure out how to shorten it in the future. The
Okay.
question is, are you community minded? Now, in order to get the best answer for this question, which is not even are you community minded anymore, it's effectively what do you think of your community, what do you want your community to be, that kind of thing. The most important thing to a streamer or a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer is the community, the people that you're streaming towards and the people that you're streaming for. So in order to get the best answer to this question of what do you think of your community, what do you want your community to be, I will give you the answer that all of the previous interviewees have given so that you can know what we're sort of kind of looking for, that kind of thing. And I will be fast and be short about this because the list of people we've interviewed is getting longer. Are you ready?
Yes.
Absolutely. The first, as always, Sacred Hearts. They want their community to be a safe space for people who feel ostracized in their regular lives, and that is the whole point of why they stream. Tony the Pinguino loves his community and wants to be the same great streamer even if they have 0 or 1,000,000 viewers. So they really like to shadow box sort of with the game that they're playing while also talking to the chat in order to keep their streaming muscles up for if they have a lower view count. Sky Axons believes that the community are the background dancers, and a song will never be better than when the main act and the background dancers work together. Amazing at interacting with chat, so amazing at it that if they show up in your chat, they will be making their own content there because of how good they are at bouncing off of that kind of stuff. Glitched Phantom is an amazing artist who appreciates their community and enjoys the separation between content creator, content, and viewer. That line exists for everyone, but it's just some people need to exercise that more because some people's communities can get a little wild. And as an artist who makes stuff that sells it, she likes that line being there. T Bonnie is not a streamer yet, but is excited to let the community build itself up and play out what they're going to be. Varden is currently letting it play out and loves interacting with them. Annadelna, you might have heard of them, best Dompier streamer of all time, likes the line, but tries to befriend viewers that prove that they can handle being on a stream and stuff like that. Little Droplet is trying to be friends with their whole community, but will set the line when necessary. If there was a person who had the energy required to be friends with 1,000 people, I fully believe Little Droplet can do it. Succulents has fun with the community and is letting it play out because he does not want to box them in. Zane the editor loves cooking up and improving the content that streamers give him, considers the VTubers he works with his community more than the viewers, but does enjoy the feedback from both. As with the title, Zane the editor doesn't really stream themselves, likes to pop into other people's streams and play with them, but they're really good at editing shorts and editing videos for the VTubers that are working with channels. Ricky T. Bones wants to be an oasis in the middle of the desert that is the internet climate whenever it gets bad. And when you get that cool air, you can enjoy Ricky making content up on the big stage. Per Hinmo wants to be more a circle of people all hanging out and sharing the cool stuff that they found and made. The best mental image I can give you of this is an AA meeting where it's a big concrete room with a bunch of plastic chairs in a circle, and the viewers in Per Hinmo are all sitting around throwing the coolest things they can find in the middle of the room so that they can all laugh and have a good time together. Jummington wants their stream to feel like a group of friends all hanging out on a big couch playing video games, but does reserve the right to throw a controller at you slash affection. The Woodsman Jack wants their community to feel like you've been trekking through a forest and you see a campfire and you get to sit in the comfort of that with your friends with hot cocoa and s'mores, non-dairy of course. Kaz Cassidy wants to be a safe place for people to learn about the arts, learn to be weird, and learn to be adults learning about themselves and growing. Because learning is a process that you have to actively be working towards. So you do have to learn about learning, and Kaz, as a teacher, loves to give people the space in order to do that. Cecily loves the feeling of being able to rely on their community, and making jokes and being goofy is the bread and butter of streaming. Captain Lockhart wants their community to be their crew while they make it to the treasure slash great content together. Shoko Ichigo believes that nobody should ever feel alone or outcasted, wants to make a space that people can feel welcomed, and your hyperfixations are valid and are now Chokos, in thanks for making them feel seen. Pastel Possum wants the community to be a big tea party where everyone can get comfortable and everyone who proves they can handle it can participate. Lorelei Irving loves the interactive feeling of being a streamer, talking to the community, but has needed to put the line in place. Wants the community to have the space away from outside influences to unwind from the world and relax when you're watching the content. And now, Xelthias, what will I etch in the stone of your thoughts on community?
Oh, this is a good question. I was already kind of thinking about it because this has to do with my long-term goals.
Mhm.
I'm presently quite happy with my community as is. A lot of creative individuals who are starting to become a lot more comfortable with sharing their creative vision out in the public eye, which is super awesome. I refer to my community as customers. It's the fun little mascot kind of idea that a lot of other streamers and VTubers have. Like the Woodsman Jack, for example, uh, is the Timbers community. Um, so I guess the vision that I'm setting forward really is to have a community that's open to discussion and exploring creative ideas and is generally wanting to help other people do the same.
Very commendable and respectful.
All right. My writing is a little bit vague, so I hope you can help me out a little bit. Loves their community that is made up of strongly creative people that are open to discussion of interesting ideas and having a good time.
I would say that's a pretty solid write up of my explanation, even if it is a little bit vague. I like to keep that a little bit vague because you never know what's going to happen. Of course, lines will be put when they need to be put, but generally, I'm all for the exploration and exchange of ideas creatively and just general discussion about things.
All right. What is your favorite memory from streaming?
That's a good question. There's a lot there. I would say finishing a Realm Reborn. I was doing a special like 12 days of Christmas stream thing where I was streaming 12 hours a day right up until Christmas Eve. And it took me 10 days to go from the very beginning of Final Fantasy XIV to having complete a Realm Reborn. And that feeling of liberation and honestly the amount of support and community uh, just present for that moment was incredible.
Nice. Do you have a least favorite memory from streaming if you're, comfortable with sharing that with us?
Um, I suppose it would be fair to have a low light as well. Um, I would say that there are definitely moments on stream that I'm not proud of, where I have allowed my frustrations to get the better of me. Uh, Probably most commonly occurring during competitive games like Marvel Rivals, where a loss streak of probably about 20 games in a row led me to kind of crash out a little bit. So that's probably my least favorite memory, that moment where I let my frustration get the better of me.
I just
Fair.
want to say it is a low light, but completely valid. Marvel
Yeah.
Rivals is a bad game, and we should yell at it. I agree.
Ugh.
Fair.
Do you have a general theme that you like your thumbnails to be when you're making the thumbnails for your YouTube channel or Twitch?
Um, I'm still learning a lot of that stuff. But the thing that I'm shooting for is kind of like the cardstock VHS covers or the crystal cases for cassette tapes. That's the kind of aesthetic that I'm aiming for, but again, we're not quite there yet. So it'll happen eventually. That's what I'm aiming for.
Fair enough. And the model that you're using itself, what's the idea behind that one?
So it requires a little bit of a story. So this is very definitely a furry model. It's one of those things that has taken me a while to get comfortable with the notion of explaining more publicly, but I hit a point where I was like, you know what? I feel like this particular creature represents who I am as a person. Because, he's a little bit goofy looking with floppy ears and it's got a lot of tech elements and things like that. And it just kind of felt right. So I decided to just go for it. And the community support was honestly quite amazing. I was a little bit shocked just how many people thought it was a cool thing. So,
I do feel like I've seen the creature before, or something similar, in like VR chat or something.
yes. So the mantled beast species is a little bit less of a common one to encounter, but there are several other like synths and protogens that look quite similar. Um, the creator of this particular species, who goes by the name Honey Moss on their socials, kind of created this because they didn't really like the restrictions that some other species had about how you could change them and make them more your own. So that also resonated with me quite strongly.
Okay. Yeah, very
Um,
respectable.
are you a fan of the Legend of Zelda series?
I am, yes.
What's your
Stargaze.
favorite one?
The Minish Cap.
Based. Wholly based.
And what's the worst Legend of Zelda game?
Oh, okay. The worst one?
I know there's so many to choose from. I just want to give you the space.
I would say the one that stands out the least in the total lineup is probably Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link. Although I personally adore the game, objectively speaking, it's probably the least strong game in the complete lineup.
Fair.
Fair, fair.
What about more recent Zelda games? How do you
No,
feel
no,
about
no,
some
no.
of
We
those?
don't have to talk about Tears of the Kingdom is a bad game. We don't have to talk about that one.
Personally, I haven't played it.
That's a good choice.
At least we can all agree that Breath of the Wild is a bad game.
What?
Eh, I find Breath of the Wild to be an enjoyable game. I don't think it fits quite as well within the Zelda game loop, but I thought it was a good game overall.
Respectable,
agree.
respectable
I agree.
answer.
A little bit of the vibe that I get when I'm looking at the model and the way that it glows is oh god, the one where you turn into a wolf and Breath of the Wild.
Twilight Princess.
Yeah, Twilight Princess
Twilight
vibe
Princess,
a little
yes.
bit, and Breath of the Wild a little bit with the runes and the glowing, that kind of thing.
We like Twilight Princess.
All
Yeah,
right.
I can understand where that would make sense for sure.
Is there a difference between games that are fun to play and games that are fun to stream?
I would say yes. The reason being is that sometimes a game that is fun to play isn't a good game to stream, more so because you can get so focused in on the game that you aren't taking into consideration one of the more important things, in my opinion, about streaming, which is people who are talking to you in your chat. So on the one hand, there are ways to handle with that. On the other hand, as somebody who also watches other people's streams, it is a little bit less fun of an experience when the streamer that you're talking to doesn't read chat for 10 to 15, maybe even 30 minutes at a time. So, in my opinion, a game that's good to stream is a game that's good enough to hold your attention, but not so much so that you're not able to read your chat.
Very fair.
Can you think of a game that was fun to play, but once you started streaming it, you were like, oh, I don't know if this one's gonna work?
Ironically, Final Fantasy 14. It's a game that has sections that are really hard to keep track of chat and what's going on in the game at the same time, but we make it work.
Absolutely. And now, have you ever had the opposite, where you played a game on stream and it was a really good time, but then once you tried to play it by yourself, you just didn't have a good time?
Yes, actually, there are several games, notably games like Repo or Peak, games that are really kind of intended to be played collaborating with your friends. Playing off stream by yourself is not really fun. Playing on stream, where the objective is to just be silly and provide entertainment for your community, makes the game way better.
How do you feel about games like that, where Creature would describe them as streamer slop?
Friend slot.
Friend slop.
Bad. So the problem is the terminology that I want to use of friend slot is meant to be like, what if there was a game like Repo, but the gameplay itself was really bad, but it was popular enough that a lot of people really wanted to play it together. So kind of you're just playing a game and then doing a podcast effectively where everyone's kind of mid at the game, but they're just using it as a system to hang out with friends. But every time I bring it up, people go, yeah, but Repo and all the other games are fun, though. I'm like, yes, I know those ones are fun, but what if they were bad?
Like content warning.
Which apparently was an April Fool's Day joke, so I'm not allowed to make fun of it anymore.
You're allowed to make fun of it.
That's true. Everyone can have their own opinions on anything. I would say the notion of a game that exists to facilitate funny moments, regardless of how bad the gameplay is still a good game because it's fulfilling its function of being that game where you can just be silly and mess around with your friends.
There was an Among Us that was a bunch of people are on a snowy mountain, and two of them are aliens. And you have to figure out who are the aliens while you go around doing tasks like collecting firewood and fixing generators. And I don't think anyone has heard of this game except me. And
It sounds familiar. Is it a top-down game?
Yes, it was top down.
Oh no.
It was so bad.
I think I have seen a few people play this game. It looked interesting purely for the amount of chaos that was occurring all at once.
The Among Us clone epidemic was so bad, but now that it's over, no one remembers them, so I can't make fun of them anymore. There was a game where it was first person, and you had like infection zones, and you had cures, where you had aliens who were a virus that were trying to infect people, and you had to have one person hold down a chain that would pull up a box in the middle of the room, and another person would have to go grab the item. And so sometimes it was medicine that would be able to cure you from the alien virus, or sometimes it was like a shotgun. Where if you were holding the chain and someone walked up and grabbed the shotgun, if they were infected, they might just turn around and shoot you. And then there were lights out times where you had a mini map that would show where everyone was, but once the lights went out, your mini map was gone, so you couldn't track where anyone was. And those were the times when the aliens would like hulk out and then go around killing people. And then once lights out ended, they would turn back into regular people. And
Hyperfixation goes burr.
I love games that are made so well, but they're executed so poorly. That's my thing, and no one remembers they exist a year
Oh,
after they come out.
are we talking about like the Bethesda style of jank where the game itself is quite good, but it just has that layer of like something's not quite right that just keeps you coming back because there's always something funny that will happen, like, NPCs having their animations break, or being able to climb up mountains, or whatever with a horse, or things like that. Is that the kind of thing that you're referring to there?
If your game has an entire community built around it where they say, oh, no, 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 don't buy this on launch. Wait for 3 months so that the modders can fix the game. Then you're allowed to play the game. Those are the things that I love the most.
Ah, yes. It's understandable. The jankiness of games like that are quite amusing, so.
All right, here's another question that's important to me, but no one else. Were you on Tumblr?
Oh. I plead the fifth.
Hey, I really like your shoelaces.
I wasn't on that part of Tumblr. I was mostly
Yes!
collecting pictures of giant robots.
No!
Mm.
I found a few of my people. I found my super Hulakians. I found my horribly brain rotted people, so it's understandable. It's fine.
As brain rotted as you?
It's the way it goes.
Hmm.
What is your favorite genre of video game?
Video game?
Video game.
Um, I would say probably side scrollers or action platformers.
Can you name one?
One that I've been quite pleasantly surprised by recently is a game called Sanabi. It incorporates a lot of grapple movement into its gameplay loop, but at its core, it's a pixel platformer. It is by far one of my favorite games that I've played in recent memory. It's not my most favorite game, but definitely it's up there.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at it on Steam right now. Do you remember a time when this kind of side scrolling action game became turn based?
Um, I'm having a hard time thinking of any games that were turn-based and side-scrolling like that.
There were games that were kind of like it was just a side scroller action game, but then the second someone noticed you, it then went bullet time where you had to like choose what you were doing. There was one that was kind of a noir style detective game where you had to figure out gang activities, and so you would be like sneaking through windows and stuff, and then once someone saw you, you had a few seconds before they would set off the alarm, and you'd have to like grab them by doing a jump action where you would put your little like how far do you want to jump kind of thing like that.
Oh, are you talking about a game by the name of Gunpoint?
I might be. Yeah, oh yeah. This is absolutely what I'm talking about.
Yes, I am absolutely 100% aware of that game. I love that game.
Did you like when they were doing the whole turn-based thing a little bit, or do you prefer the more
Yeah,
action-oriented?
it added an interesting twist, so I would say neither is superior.
Fair, fair. Did you play N Plus?
I have not, no.
I mean, if you want one of the greatest side-scrolling platformers of all time, you gotta hit up N Plus. Oh,
Gotcha.
is it
I'll
not on
put that on the
computer?
list.
Oh no, it might not be on. Oh no, N plus plus. There it is. It's a stickman platforming game. One of the greatest to ever do it.
Oh, I see.
All right. And what is? Oh yeah, I forgot. It would have level builder, wouldn't it? So hey, infinite content.
Hmm. You'd be surprised at how far infinite combat, quote unquote, can take you. Look at Mario Maker.
Ooh,
Mario.
this kind of reminds me, this topic, of a game called Your Only Move is Hustle, which is a turn-based fighting game.
He loves Yomi Hustle.
I do not. I hate Yomi Hustle. I want to be clear.
He loves Yomi
It's
Hustle.
a
Don't let him
game.
lie to you.
It's a game I thought I wouldn't like. And then my best friend of 20 years was like, "Hey, you should play this." And then he proceeded to destroy me in nearly every match we've had, and I still keep coming back to it. So,
I mean this in the nicest way possible. I'm of the age where I can say Yomi Hustle is the Roblox of Tory Bash. Tory Bash ran so
ooh,
Yomi Hustle could have a bunch of anime mods on Steam Community. All right.
see, I would agree with that statement if it weren't for the fact that I had played Tory Bash first.
Tory Bash is great. It's okay. It might be horrible because of the fact that there is a community of people who try really, really hard in the game that want to make sure anyone who's new gets thoroughly abused before they're allowed to quote unquote have fun in the game. But they're really funny videos to watch.
This is
Pretty
true.
true.
Tory Bash videos are funny to watch. It's not fun to be on the receiving end of that kind of treatment, though.
Yeah, that's understandable. All right. What is your least favorite genre of games?
Oh, probably rail shooters. I dislike the ability or the lack of ability to move my character around.
Are you talking like arcade machine, House of the Dead style games?
Kind of, sort of, yeah. The ones where you get whisked from one spot to another, and then you have to basically quick time action for a minute, and then it just moves you again. Don't really like that style of gameplay.
That is 100% fair, and I never considered that could be someone's least favorite genre of game. It just kind of seems so nothing burger that I thought everyone would be just kind of like, oh yeah, those exist. I'm so glad. This is a new kind of hating. I'm stealing this from you. I now hate rail shooters as well. I can't believe they would do that. Oh my.
I suppose it was a limitation of the technology of the time, but I still think it's kind of brain dead gameplay.
I agree. It is brain dead gameplay, and they were brain dead for making it. Thank you.
Wait. Repeat that of what kind of games are rail shooters?
Like House of the Dead, the arcade shooters where you have the gun and you point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would Star Fox be a
Yeah,
rail shooter?
not really, because you can move your character around your
Oh, the
player
ones where
model
you
of the
can't
ship.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, like Link's
so
crossbow training.
yeah, like another name would probably be like rail cart shooter. So like
Oh, okay.
you're stuck in a spot and the game just moves you from point to point.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of those either.
I agree. Um. Okay. What do you think of creature collectors?
Um, I don't see a problem with them. they're not really my favorite kind of game. Most of my experience with creature collectors, I assume you mean games like Pokemon, where you gotta catch them all.
Yeah.
So most of my experience is with that the Ruby generation of Pokemon. After
Nice.
that, I was like, okay, I've had my fill of creature collectors, so I moved on to broader horizons in games like Satisfactory.
You an incremental fan, or was Satisfactory something that just grabbed you?
Well, it took a few years between those 2 points, but generally, the idea of being able to neatly organize at least one thing in my life was very appealing.
You know what? I won't hold that against you. I fully understand what you're saying. That's kind of why I like creature collectors. I like my little guys being happy and healthy. That's why I have, I had a few Digimon because I was like, oh, you get to eat 3 full meals a day, buddy. Isn't that so nice? You know?
I mean, no disrespect
Yeah.
with this. Are you a millennial?
Huh?
Are you a millennial?
Okay.
No
Are you in-
disrespect.
Okay.
Are you an adult?
There's, you know that Gen Z are adults, right?
Yeah, like, well, no, because the
I'm
last
like-
Gen Z was 2012, which is
But
weird to
Gen
think
Z
about.
was right after millennial. You're thinking of Gen Alpha.
No. Gen Z is from that point to 2012.
Oh, yeah. My bad.
Yes.
My bad.
So I am of the oldest part of Gen Z in that weird crossover region, so I would technically be classified as a zillennial.
Oh, okay.
I'm 1999, so I'm also a zillennial, I believe.
Yeah, it's like the first 3 years of the generation, and the last 3 years of the generation is that weird overlap.
People
But because I
cannot
have
agree on when Gen Z started.
well, definitively, according to Wikipedia at least, is 97. So
Wait,
Okay.
what?
yeah,
Wikipedia has
Wait, I'm
facts.
Gen Z?
Oh, that's
yes,
tragic.
you're a Gen Z.
No!
You're a zillennial.
I always knew I was a zoomer. I didn't know how, but I knew. So what movies do you like?
So,
He's just moving on.
that's a good question. um, so as of late, I haven't really been watching as many movies. But some standout favorites are Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow and The Rocketeer.
I don't think I've heard of either of those. What genre
kinda-
of movies are those?
They're kind of along the lines of like modern retro. It's kind of like movies that this is what they thought the like 80s, 90s, 2000s would look like from a perspective of the technology that we don't have yet from like the 50s and 60s.
So like the Jetsons.
Kind of, sort of. Where Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow is based off of a comic, if I recall correctly. It's about a guy who runs like a private military kind of thing, but he goes around and stops like villainous entities from taking over the world or whatever. The movie itself is quite well done, and then The Rocketeer is basically the synopsis of that is some guy finds a jetpack that has been stolen from a research institution and then becomes a superhero using the jetpack.
Makes sense to me. I mean, what else would you do if you found a jetpack?
Yeah, that's a valid point.
All right. Now, people love when I do this, so I'm going to continue to do it because it's funny. There are 2 questions left on our list of interview questions. And the last question is shilling as hard as you can. So we need your stream on YouTube and Twitch. So just say this out loud and we can put the links and stuff. And then where you can be found on like Facebook, X, Blue Sky, all that stuff. Do you have a Discord server? You know, we need all of that. So that is the last question. The question I'm asking right now is, who would you recommend to get interviewed by us next?
Ooh, I would say the people that come to mind most immediately are Chill Kaido VT. He is a very good friend of mine. He's very energetic and awesome to hang around. Uh, the other person I would recommend is another VTuber by the name of Speef VA. He's generally a fairly down-to-earth, calm and collected kind of guy. He's very fun to hang around, and he's very passionate about a great deal of topics.
Would you mind making a group chat between us so that we can grab them and talk to them and see if they want to be interviewed?
Sure, I can do that.
Thank you, thank you. All right, and are you ready to start chilling?
I guess so.
All right.
Um,
So we know that you have a YouTube channel, which is Xelthias. You have a Twitch stream, which is Xelthias. You
that
got
is
that extra
correct.
blue sky?
The blue sky.
Basically everywhere you can find me, it's under the name of Xelthias. That's Xelthias, or the phonetic spelling of X-ray Echo Lima. My brain just short-circuited there for a second, and I can't remember the phonetic alphabet. Hold on. X-ray Echo Lima Tango Hotel Indigo Alpha Sierra.
I found your
There we
card.
go.
I want you to know, you may have done this on purpose. You spelled Discord as Dick Sword.
My little secret has been found.
Annadelna, always the first to report on the biggest news possible.
But on it, you have linked your Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter, and your Dick Sword.
So I have a Blue Sky, I have Twitter, I have a Discord. The Discord group is the Dainsleif Retro Tech Shop and Arcade, all of which can be found in the card link. I need to add the Blue Sky to it. I'm bad at updating my socials on Twitter and Blue Sky, so most of my information will be predominantly on Discord. I will go fix that typo after this.
I'm sorry to do this to you. You have 69 followers on Blue Sky, and now you have 70.
Oh no.
That's life.
It was perfect. But I post on TikTok, on Twitter, on Blue Sky, on YouTube, and I stream on Twitch, and soon to be also streaming on YouTube. I don't post on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that. I just haven't had good luck with those platforms, so I tend to just avoid them. Anyway, I don't have anything else to really shill here, so.
What time and what days do you stream?
Typically 4 p.m. Central on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. That is subject to change, but that is the general schedule.
Of course, of course. And how many subscribers do you need? 1 billion, right?
1 billion.
A billion might be a bit much, but hopefully at some point the community will be in the millions strong, and that's the dream, right?
I could use 1 billion, but yeah, 1 million's good.
5 more billion.
5 quintillion subscribers. Right.
Yes, I would like to have the entire population of the Milky Way galaxy as my subscriber base.
Hey, listen, if they were smart, they'd already be subscribed, all right?
True that.
And was there anything else you'd like to say to the lovely community before we end this thing?
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to be interviewed. It was very fun. If you're not subscribed to Anna already, you should totally do that. That's all I got.
That's fair. I completely forgot. As the interviewee, we do need you to do a little bit of work. Do you have a question that you want to add to our list of questions? I don't know if you noticed, but the cutie mark, the favorite wood, those kinds of questions were indeed added by other people previously. So, would you like to add one?
Yes. If you play video games, what is the first video game you remember playing?
What is
Bars.
the first video game you remember playing? That is a question that will be added to the list. I think it's pretty good. It'll go
I think
right
it's
after
a
what's your
very
favorite breakfast food.
Bars.
I think that can be very illuminating on what people's gaming preferences are.
What's the first video game you remember playing?
Ocarina of Time.
Ooh, Ocarina of Time is a good choice. I think I remember playing either the original Super Mario Brothers or Duck Hunt first.
Mine was either a PS2 game that was you go around as knockoff kaijus and you break down a city and you can fight other monsters.
Rampage.
Yeah, Rampage. Or it was a Dungeon Hunter on the PSP.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm great at outros, so this has been super fun. Thank you for being here. You've been a wonderful guest.
We greatly enjoyed having you.
And we'll see everyone in episode 33.
All right.
Bye, 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 bye,
Auf
bye,
Wiedersehen
bye, bye, bye,
and
bye,
goodbye.
bye, bye,
And
bye, bye,
remember
bye, bye.
to stay cringe.
Stay